Hi there, this is CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm just across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. What I've got in the pan is a roux, and I pulled this out just at the magic time, the camera, so I can show you what's about to happen. This started out an equal portion of self-rising flour and unsalted butter, and then I added a little bit of seasoning salt, a little bit of black pepper, seasoned to taste. And so you have to slowly stir this stuff. So and it got to pretty within about 5 minutes. It got to a point that it was around the shade of the side of this pan here, which is good. But it kind of stayed there as I slowly stirred. You have to slowly stir this. What I want is I want this to get to a good chocolatey color, and it's getting darker. This is the magic point that we're going to be able to see it. That's why I decided to record right now. So you do your roux, whatever sizes that you want. The reason why I'm making so much is I have this roast, and then I'm also going to have some rice with the dinner, and so I'll have some sauce to pour over the rice. But what this is a good base. So you see how dark this is getting? This is what we want. And yeah, I don't know why uh, my camera's stuttering, but yeah. Okay, so we just about got it to where we want. We don't want a blonde roux for this. We want a dark roux, or some might call it a chocolate roux. And then from there, it's a good base, and I can use it. I can just add water, or broth or whatever or pan drippings or whatever to make pan drippings would come up with an au jus. Just adding water would just basically make a brown gravy, a brown southern gravy. You can use the flour, or if you didn't want to use flour, you could use cornstarch. But I wanted a sauce with a really hearty base, something that's really, really going to hold up to some long-term cooking. And so I went with the flour. We are just about as dark as we need to get. As a matter of fact, we're almost to that point that I can just take this off the heat and let it finish browning in the pot without the heat source underneath it. So we want this good chocolatey consistency, almost a fudge consistency. And there we go. And I'm gonna go ahead right now, and I'm gonna make the decision to turn off the burner. It was on medium heat. You never want to go above medium in a Teflon coated cookware. Otherwise, it will, you run the risk of it, coming off in your cooking, and you don't want that. So the heat is still on, but it's going to slowly come to temperature underneath the heat. The eyes of this electric stove really, really holds heat. So maybe just a touch more butter than needed, because the sauce is starting to break. But since this is basically just a base sauce, it's really going to be okay. Typically, I would want to use just a little bit less butter for like a perfect roux. But look how dark and chocolatey this roux is getting. And I just, be careful, I just bumped my knuckle against the side of this pot, and that's hot. I'm going to take this spoon, lay it to the side, and then remove this pot from the heat source so I can finish letting it brown. I'm going to pause it just for a second. All right, thank you. I needed this out of my hands, and in just the brief moment that I transferred the pot to a burner that was not on, this was the burner it was on, and I just moved it over here. Just in that time, now we have our chocolate bar color. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to be. This is a perfect roux. From here, you can separate this and to do whatever types of sauces that you need. Just a straight up gravy. Just add water, broth, or a little bit of mix. If you want to lighten it, you could add a little bit of milk. If you want to add a little twist or a twang. And for some of this, I will. For the part of this that I'm going to separate and put into the for the roast, I'm actually going to use just a touch of a tomato product, just a jarred tomato sauce. Uh, basically, I'm using a ragu, really, and not because I'm favoring the product. It's just it's what I have on hand. I'm going to use just a couple of tablespoons of that into the bottom of the pan that the roast is going to rest upon with the potatoes. Just give it a little twist. But then the remainder of this dark roux is going to go into a really, really dark gravy that I'm going to be able to use over some brown rice that I'm having. Uh, so, and then I'm just going to have some corn and then some bread. Because I made some bread with the it was a I did something that had a breading the other night. What was it? Chicken strips or something like that. And so I made a bread uh, with the remainder of that seasoning flour because I just wanted to see, and it came out fine. The texture is that of a great. It's really a biscuity texture. You know, if I could have done taken a little bit more time with it, I would have gotten some. Uh, a slightly different texture, but it's going to be fine. What's good about that is that it's hearty and got a great herb flavor. The bread that's wrapped right there, and then so yeah, it's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready with the rest of my meal. At about 3 hours to go until showtime. It's about 3 p.m. I got about 3 hours to slow braise this roast in my oven. So yeah, here we go. I love you guys. Have a good day. I just wanted to show you how magical, how wonderful. You get this right to the point that you know that it's about to turn. And even with my slow stirring like this, you see that butter, as it has solidified, has receded and gone back into the roux, so that it's no longer a broken roux. And you want to get this right here. And when you add your other elements to it, it's going to thin the color. It's going to dilute the color, and that is why. Um, That is why you want your roux as dark as you can get it. Now, roux is not an actual sauce, but it is a base. It is a base, and off of it, you can build or add to in traditional French cooking. You have about 5, some say 6, um, depending upon sauces. Some people consider mayonnaise a sauce, and some people do not, because you don't typically cook a mayonnaise. But you have your butter sauces, cream sauces, tomato-based sauces, a wine sauce, and let me count. Butter sauce. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I do know this. You have a butter sauce, a milk-based sauce or cream sauce, a white wine sauce. You have oh screw it! Off the top of my head.